I know most of you don't remember me, but I know all of you. Even though I was stuck light years away on Earth, I never stopped trying to get back home.
Everything changed since you left.
It's all gone. Skeletor took my family. And he destroyed our world.
It's all my fault. I know how it feels to fail. Take the sword. And when you fall, that's your chance to stand tall.
Welcome back to the Weekend Warrior Show. This time it's my latest video review for Amazon MGM's Masters of the Universe, a title you're likely familiar with if you're of a certain age, either biologically or emotionally and mentally. I have bad news for fans of Masters of the Universe, but I'm going to counterbalance that bad news with the fact that I never liked Masters of the Universe. I've been familiar with Masters of the Universe since I was a teenager. I was never a fan. I never liked it. Never got into it, never understood the appeal of it. And I'm kind of telling you that because in my Backrooms review last week, I got a comment saying, oh, you didn't get the movie because you didn't see any of the YouTube stuff. Well, Master Universe, I mean, I know all I need to know before seeing this movie. It's directed by Travis Knight, who I actually like. He did a Bumblebee movie, which I really liked, and I wasn't a huge fan of Transformers either. But Master Universe, I'm going to give you a little bit of a history because I feel like I need to give you a little bit of a history. So Master Universe first came out as a toy from Mattel in the early 80s. There was a cartoon a little after that, and then a movie in 1987. In the early 80s, I was in high school. I was into comic books, and they actually did a Master Universe comic where they teamed up with Superman. I thought that was stupid. And they did this cartoon. I never watched the cartoon. And the movie came out in 1987. I never watched that. I might have seen it later on cable, probably. It never really connected with me. And back when I was at Coming Soon, I was covering Toy Fair. I go to the Mattel presentation, and everyone was just drooling all over the Master of the Universe toys. And I was just like, huh? What? Okay, whatever. Somebody, Travis Knight, obviously loves Masters of the Universe. He decided to make this movie. It has a lot of problems that maybe fans will overlook. But not being a fan, I kind of have to take these into account when I'm reviewing a movie. So Master of the Universe, it's not great. I'm not going to spoil a lot of things. I will have some spoilers at the very, very end. After my rating, I'll give us a little spoiler warning, and I want to talk about the end credit sequence, because I feel like after sitting through this whole movie, which is over 2 hours, like 2 hours and 20 minutes, which is insane, they had these end credits things. And it's like, I'm sure the end credits thing could get fans excited just like they did with the Sonic the Hedgehog movies. But you know what? I'll never see another Sonic the Hedgehog movie again. I just don't care. And this might be the same Masters of the Universe. But anyway, so Masters of the Universe begins with a prologue set in Eternia, where the young Adam is in training with his good friend, Tila. They're being trained by Duncan, the Master of Arms, played by Idris Elba, and Skeletor and his crew invade, and they're there to steal the Sword of Power. And that Sword of Power is introduced in the very beginning, and some narration. You will hear the word Sword of Power said about 100 times in this movie. This whole movie is about finding and getting the Sword of Power. Okay, just know that going in. I mean, if you're a fan of the Master of the Universe, you already know this. So it's not like I have to tell you this. Yeah, so basically this prologue, it basically sets up Skeletor and his odd-looking creatures trying to get the Sword of Power. Adam gets his hand on the Sword of Power, and he's sent away by the sorceress and by his father, mother. Yeah, he ends up on Earth, and he ends up in Oklahoma City, I guess. And we cut forward about 15 years later, and he's kind of in his 20s, I guess. I mean, he's now played by Nicholas Galitzine, and we watch him at his job. He works in HR of all things, and he's not having a good time because he's so obsessed with the Sword of Power. He'd actually lost it when he got transported to Earth, and so he has to find it. And so he's kind of obsessed with that, and he kind of gets in trouble at work. But he is part of this like HR team, and he basically, we see him do his job a little bit, but don't worry. This HR thing will come into play later, and it actually kind of almost ruins the movies for me. He eventually he puts out an ad to try to find the Sword of Power. Someone responds. The Sword of Power is at a kind of a weird geeky nerd shop. It's not a comic shop, but it has also figurines and stuff like that. It's just, there's a big statue which has the Sword of Power in its hand, and Adam gets his hands on it again. And just as he gets his hands on it again, he's attacked by this big furry creature who I'm sure fans will know who that creature is called. I have no idea. They never actually name him, as far as I know. And then he reconnects with Tila, who's now played by Camila Mendez. Camila Mendez was on Riverdale. I never saw that show. She was also in a bad movie called Idiotka earlier this year, which I did not like at all. I mean, she's good. She's a good actress, but basically, so the adult Tila and the adult Adam fight this creature. They get into Tila's spaceship, and she transports them back to Eternia, where it's 15 years later. Skeletor has pretty much destroyed the place. It's just almost like in ruins, but he didn't get the Sword of Power because Adam has it. But Adam hasn't figured out how to activate it yet. So that's it. So basically, it's going to be this fight over Sword of Power. It's not very interesting. I mean, I like the big woolly creature that attacked them for sure. When they get back, they reconnect with some of the other characters who we were introduced really briefly in the prologue. That include Idris Elba, who's actually Tila's father, as I found out later. I don't think I knew that. He's in prison. He's apparently drinking. Apparently, they give him alcohol in prison, which I've never heard. I never heard of a prison, someone jailing someone and saying, "Hey, here's some alcohol." But apparently, he's drunk all the time. There's also a battle bot, which is actually just cleaning the prison. I don't know. It's all these things that I just did not care about at all, and it's just like going on and on and on. Introducing these characters. Apparently, I thought that both Adam's father and mother were killed in the prologue, but they were not. They're still around. They still come back. All these characters keep coming back and back, and like reintroducing them. There's that green tiger called Cringer on the right, who was introduced really briefly in the prologue. Returns later. It's a talking tiger. I don't know, for whatever reason. So basically, Adam's reunited with Cringer, with Duncan, with Tila, and with BattleBot, and with these other characters who I really don't care for. And of course, Skeletor finds them. Again, still looking for the sword. That's the whole plot of the movie. So anyway, so this is the thing. So basically, this whole plot is that Adam gets sent to Earth for 15 years, and he finds a sword, comes back, eventually figures out how to power the sword, and he does the by the power of Grayskull, out of the power, blah blah, lightning. He turns to He-Man, which we don't actually know his name is He-Man until much later. Get into that in a little bit. But this is Master Universe. This is the kind of stuff where when I saw stuff at Mattel display, I was just like, I don't care. I just don't care about this at all. And for me to go see this movie, I mean, I have a lot of respect for Travis Knight. I mean, what he's done at Leica with Kubo and the Two Strings, and Bumblebee was just great. I mean, it had Haley Steinfeld and Bumblebee. It was just really well done. This is not that. This is basically Travis Knight, who's obviously a fan of Master Universe, just trying to relive his childhood and putting us through it, basically. And I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people who are going to be like, oh my God, this is my childhood. I can't believe I'm seeing this on the big screen. And it's definitely better than the 87 movie. That's for sure. It's different times. But there are a lot of problems with it. And a lot of problems that right down to, right down to the start with the casting of Nicholas Galatine. I mean, I liked him in Sheep Detectives. He had kind of a smaller role, and he was kind of teamed with another actor a lot. And he was pretty good. But in this one, he is just out of his depth. He's just not, I mean, yeah, he's good looking. He's built. I mean, I'm sure ladies love him, but I thought he was just not very good. He was, not very funny. He was given a lot of bad jokes to make, put in a lot of stupid situations. And it just kind of just got worse and worse and worse. And it was just really, really grueling to watch this. And then, of course, there's, Idris Elba is a great actor. He's probably the best actor in this whole cast. And he has nothing much to do. I mean, he's Duncan. He's drunk all the time, and then he's not drunk. He has some fight scenes. I mean, I gotta say, the fight scenes are pretty good. A lot of the visual effects are good, but there were a lot of problems as well. I think some of the makeup was bad. I think some of the character designs. There's a lot of stuff. I mean, okay, to be fair, the production design is good, but it's basically recreating locations from the cartoons and from the toys and sets and stuff like that. And that's a lot of this. Like a lot of this is recreating stuff from the toys. So a lot of the characters, the designs were designed by Mattel. And the designs aren't great. I mean, there's a character called Trapjaw, played by Sam C. Wilson, who just looks so idiotic. It's just like, what are we looking at here? Like, what's the point of this character? It's like, oh, yeah, for a kid, if you're like 9 or 10 years old, you'd be like, oh my God, Trapjaw, he looks so cool, and he's this gun for his hand and a thing. I mean, all this stuff is being done for kids basically, and it's like, so if you're in your 30s or 40s and you come to this movie, you're like, oh my God, I'm seeing this, then you know what? I don't have anything to do with you, to be honest. Have to be honest here. It's like I think that people who just love this stuff are there's something wrong with them because it's not like anyway. But I'll get again. I'm getting a little off track here, but okay. One of the big problems, and again, I'm not going to bash on Jared Leto. I actually think he's a really good actor. He's done some great stuff in the past. Saw him in Chapter 23 at Sundance. I saw him in this movie at Tribeca that I thought was really good. This crime movie with I think it was I think it was Jim Gandolfini and John Travolta. Maybe I can't remember the name of it, unfortunately. And he won an Oscar too. So he's a good actor. But then in recent years, he started doing these franchise movies. He did Morbius. He did Haunted Mansion, and now he's done this. Skeletor. First of all, I usually root for the bad guys. I love Doctor Doom. I mean, if you've seen my shelf of evil, you know that I love the bad guys. Galactus, Doctor Doom, all this stuff. Skeletor. They basically, when they designed him for this Mattel toys, it's just like, let's take Skeleton and give it an R, and like he has a skull mask, and he has like, whatever. It's a stupid looking character. It's a stupid character. I mean, it looks like a Spirit Halloween costume. Let's be honest. This does not look good. It does not look. I mean, they could have done a lot of really cool things with Skeletor, but they just went back to the original. And I think that's a lot of the things. I think Travis Knight's so beholden to a lot of the original stuff in this movie, and the toys and the cartoons and all the stuff, that he kind of doesn't make a movie that really transcends bad material. That's the long and short of it. I mean, but anyway, so Jared Leto, Skeletor, terrible performance. I mean, this is like I thought he was actually worse in this than he was in Morbius. He just I don't know. I feel like Jared Leto's just stopped caring about acting and he's just phoning it in for a paycheck. And Skeletor is just another example of that. So yeah, what else? What else can I tell you about the Masters of the Universe that you might not already know? I mean, other actors is Miranda Baccarin as the sorceress who's supposed to guard the sword. There's a bunch of other characters from the toys and the things like Fisto. Yeah, idiotic, Ram Man, stupid. And the movie just makes so many just throws so many jokes, bad jokes to the viewer. And a lot of the jokes are about these characters. So there's so many fisting jokes in this movie, which is not something I was expecting for a movie that might be appealing to kids. But yeah, it makes fun of the names of the characters, and it's like, well, you know what? You can't have it both ways. You either gonna shower adulation on this franchise and these characters and the toys and all this stuff, or you're gonna make fun of it. And it kind of tries to do both ways. So I think Travis Knight's a good director. I think the screenplay for this was a complete mess, and I couldn't believe it was written by Chris Butler, who has written so much great stuff for Leica, including Paranorman and Kubo and the Two Strings. But this obviously had so many writers. It was clearly being developed over time, probably by Mattel, probably by other producers, other filmmakers, maybe even before Knight and Butler got involved. But like then they took this plot, which is a very simple plot. Adam goes to Earth, Adam comes back, everyone fights over the sword, and then they just throw all these bad jokes in it, and it's just like, you know what? I mean, that's just like the star of the problem right there is that script. The script always has to be good. And if you don't have a good script, no matter what you do, nothing's going to work. There are things in this that work. There were some fights and some visual effects that I mentioned before. I mean, there was a spaceship battle, which was great, but it was just right out of Star Wars. And it's just this thing. This is so influenced by Star Wars. I think the original Master of the Universe probably had some influence from Star Wars. And people are talking about how these Star Wars characters were named by toy companies before they were named in movies. Well, that's the same with Master of the Universe with Mattel. I mean, it's so influenced by Star Wars, and this movie is so influenced by Star Wars. And for people to be trashing on the Mandalorian Grogu and then come into Master of the Universe and say, "Oh my God, this is amazing!" What the hell are you talking about? Did you see the same movie I did? Mandalorian Grogu is a really well-made movie, great storytelling. But at least people aren't just praising it wholeheartedly because they're fans of the Master of the Universe cartoons, and they're like, "Oh my God, I can't believe they're back on the screen again." After whatever, almost 40 years. Other problems. I mean, like, okay, so for instance, like I said, Skeletor's costume. Lockjaw looked terrible. That woolly creature that came to Earth, whatever, that looked amazing. I mean, that was probably the best part of the movie. That and the spaceship race. But even things like the music by Daniel Pemberton, I was really disappointed by the score for this movie. I don't like comparing art to art, but comparing the score to Ludwig Göransson's Mandalorian, I mean, Daniel Pemberton tried to make something that was very, very reverential to probably the cartoons, the music from the cartoons and the 1987 movie. and it felt very dated. Kind of like it had these metal guitars, which I mean, the original Brian May from Queen actually played the sound effect for the Sword of Power. But there's actually a Queen song in this called Princes of the Universe, I think it was called. And when I heard the song, it was obviously from the 80s. It was like, oh, this must be a song from the Master of the Universe from the movie, which I didn't remember. But no, it's a song that was written for Highlander. And actually is a Highlander joke in this movie. So that's where this movie goes. It basically is like not happy enough just being reverential to Masters of the Universe. It has to throw in some Highlander stuff. And it's like there's actually a Highlander remake being made right now. And I hope it does better than this because you know what? When you make a movie based on properties from the 80s, you got to make it current. You got to make it for people watching it now who weren't alive in the 80s. And I was alive in the 80s and I didn't care for it back then. Why would I care for it over 40 years later? I don't. And that's the whole point of this. I didn't like this movie. It was just grueling. I was bored to tears. You know, I couldn't get excited about anything I was watching on screen. Travis Knight is so intent on maintaining that tone of the 80s, of the tunes and the movie and the look of the toys and stuff like that. And it's like you just don't have a good script. You don't have a good script. You don't have a good story. And you can tell, and it just really, really makes it just tough to watch this, and it's a bummer. Anyway, I'm glad that Travis Knight is already returning to stop motion animation for a movie called Wildwood, which comes out in October. But yeah, he needs to stop working with toy franchises. I mean, it worked with Bumblebee. It did not work with Master Universe. I'm giving this movie a 5 out of 10. I feel like I'm being nice. I mean, this movie is a movie I would have walked out of if I hadn't planned on reviewing it. Never was a fan of Master Universe. I felt it was stupid. And this movie confirms that it is stupid. And it's been stupid because you do have some talented people working on it, but they're doing shitty work. And it shows. Anyway, so that's it. 5 out of 10 for Master of the Universe. I'm going to give a spoiler warning now, and then I'm going to talk about some of the end credit sequences because it did not help at all. But first of all, before I talk about end credits sequencers, I also want to say there's a cameo. It's a very obvious cameo. It's by an actor from the 1987 movie. You could probably guess who it is, but yeah, it's one of those things. You throw it in, it's fan service. You just throw it in there so fans go, oh my God, it's that person. Well, you know what? If you want to see that person, go see these other movies. Go see the 1987 movie. It's fan service. And then we get to the end credit sequence. And I'm going to say spoiler one more time so you can't get mad at me. But there are 2 end credit sequences. There's one right after the movie actually ends, and that's just a quick showing of Orko, that weird looking magical creature, which I never liked either, but I guess they had to throw him in there. So Orca's there for a second, and then there's some credits, and then they come back, and we see someone's back who is obviously She-Ra. They don't actually tell us it's She-Ra. They don't actually show the actor playing She-Ra. It's just one of those things. It's just like in Sonic the Hedgehog. They're like, we're going to do what Sonic the Hedgehog did, and we'll get people excited for the next movie. There might not be a next movie, but just like the Sonic the Hedgehog movies, I have no interest in seeing another Master of the Universe movie. I will not see another Master of the Universe movie. So if you want to see it and you must see it, then go see it. But if it does well enough and they make another movie, I will be skipping it. I've had enough Master of the Universe in one lifetime. And I don't think that these end credit sequences do much to help me, make me more excited. I mean, just like Sonic the Hedgehog. Like, you know what? If you want to throw these characters in there and get fans excited, great. But Master of the Universe, fan service, we're looking forward to Travis Knight's next movie. I just hope he doesn't make another Master of the Universe movie. It just was not well done at all. So, as I said before, 5 out of 10. That's it.
The universe shall quake in my shadow.
This is my home. I'm gonna fight for it. But I can't do it without you.
Somebody wants to brawl.
I need every man, woman, or whatever that is.
You may have the power, but you're too scared to use it.
Trust me. I know how to use it.
tell everyone that you're from another planet. It just makes you sound a little very crazy.